Hello everyone. Would you like to try a couple of amazing experiments? You don't need any tools at hand, just your eyes and brain. Today you'll see that you can't always rely on them. They can be deceived no matter how much you try to fight it. In our new video, you'll see the most amazing optical illusions, and you'll be able to test their effect on yourself. It is fascinating. Let's get it on. This would be a perfectly nice grid, except it's all crazy and nuts on the sides. If only there was a way to fix it. There is, sort of. If you stare at the center of the grid, the crazy peripheries begin to fix themselves. It is thought that the brain has a bias towards order and regular patterns, and will actually go about fixing the problems on the sides. In this video, not only does your mind misinterpret what it sees in the foreground, it doesn't seem to understand what's going on in the mirror image in the background. This misunderstanding takes place because 1. The brain can't accurately render depth from a single vantage point, i.e. a video, and 2. The brain likes to see right angles, the kind that would occur should the curve of the roof continue. It would meet a plane perpendicular to the axis of the roof. Which line is bigger? They're both exactly the same. This is an example of the Ponzo illusion. This little trick takes advantage of the human brain's use of background to judge an object's size. The above circle is just a series of dots rotating within a larger circle, right? What could be more obvious? Watch the video to see just how this rotating ring is something completely different, and your brain can't pick up on it. What a good-looking spiral, am I right? I guess nothing more to discuss here, unless… No, wait a minute. Run your finger along the spiral and see if you can run the length of it. Something seems off here. This is the Fraser spiral illusion. Despite what your eyes tell you, the spiral is actually a series of concentric circles. The background pattern makes the picture so confusing that your brain just fills in information that isn't really there. This is one of the most effective illusions I've ever come across. If you concentrate on the center and read the letters as they go along, you will find a swirling vortex of shapes and colors forming around the periphery, but no colors have been added. It's an illusion. The effect even lasts for a powerful few seconds after you've stopped watching. Whoa. Can you find a man's face hidden among the coffee beans? Trust us, he's in there. This isn't really an optical illusion in the traditional sense, as much as it's a tricky, if simple, piece of Photoshop work. If you can find the face in under 3 seconds, the NIH's website reports, without giving any specifics, that the right side of your brain may be more developed than most. The right side of the brain being the hemisphere generally associated with art, creativity, and imagination. Well, you have about 10 seconds to guess what shape we're inside right now. At first glance, it seems like this is one of those impossible objects too. The central part seems to stretch endlessly from the bottom up and the walls float in an unknown direction. How can one even concentrate here? Okay, we won't touch you for any longer. It's just a bagel. In scientific terms, such a surface is called a torus. It has just been rotating around its axis this whole time. By the way, this illusion can also trick you into seeing objects as distorted if you look at it a bit longer. The top 5 boss payback moments that went too far.
Shut the fuck up!
Number 1. Who can be seen pouring water into a glass suddenly goes into vicious mode. Gupta can be seen spitting into the glass of water, which he went on to serve to a lady judicial officer.
Nice.
The exact reason for this action is yet to be known, but the shocking incident took place on May 22nd. Gupta has been placed under immediate suspension, and an inquiry has been ordered which will submit its report within a month. Number 2. Hell hath no fury like an employee fired. There may not be a right way to react to being terminated at work, but surely it can't get more wrong than destroying a plane using heavy machinery. Several reports also claim that it's possible the plane was defunct and just meeting its fate. Old planes are often dismantled and sold in parts, so the man in the digger might just have been doing his job. We may not know the exact reason behind this episode, but the video makes for an interesting watch nonetheless. The huge digger makes the plane crumble like a tin can. Number 3. When a Texas businessman discovered shocking footage on his surveillance camera showing a woman in her 60s urinating in his driveway, he decided to get even and share the bizarre video with the world.
No, come on, babe. Babe, please, every night with them. Come on.
Mr. Zarsky believes that the elderly woman seen pulling down her pants and underwear before urinating on his property is a process server who became upset that the homeowner had lied to her about his identity. Number 4. Disgruntled employee smash his employer's Mercedes-Benz. According to reports, this Swiss boss at a construction site had not paid his Albanian excavator driver, and during a television interview, it seems the driver decided it was the perfect moment to take revenge. Driving a large wheel loader Caterpillar, at first it seems as though he hasn't noticed the white Mercedes-Benz car parked in the middle of the worksite. These large loaders are seriously impressive machines, weighing in at a massive 110 tons or more. They have immense wheels and awesome loading and lifting power, and will cost you big deal.
Yeah, boy.
The Mercedes-Benz car is a classic coupe. Number 5. We usually have pretty good awareness, even of things we can't necessarily see. But one blind spot is things that happen overhead, and so dropping things from above is one of the classic pranks in history. In this video, we see what looks like a regular light industrial unit with a couple of men wandering in and out of the main door, going about their business on their working day. Then we see something a little unusual, as still as a predator watching his prey. A heavyset man is crouching on top of the building holding a bucket. One of the other guys has caught sight of him and is half hidden behind a wall, waiting for something to happen. And obviously, the person filming must be in on the prank too, so there's a real trap being laying here. Question is, what's in the bucket? After a tense wait, finally some drama, a man appears at the door, but at the last moment, a van pulls up to stop him walking out too fast. Perhaps coordinated? Maybe just pure chance. But anyway, it's the signal to strike. And the patient man on the roof tips the bucket onto his boss, soaking him to the skin with water. It seems like he saw the funny side. The other guys watching certainly did. That's about all the vengeful workers we've got time for today. Which of these crazy acts of revenge did you think was most justified? What pranks have you played on your boss, and how did they react? Let us know in the comments below.
Oh my God! Someone's trying to kill me!
Everyone is always talking about who the most powerful militaries on the planet are, but no one brings up the world's weakest militaries. Global Firepower issues a list every year ranking the world's most powerful militaries. Everyone knows that the United States is always listed at the top. In this video, we'll give you a quick take on each military power based on how many personnel, aircraft, armored vehicles, naval vessels, and what size of a budget each country has to work with. You may be surprised by what country made number 1. If we made the New York Police Department a military, this would be a basic breakdown of what military looks like in real life. The 15 countries listed at the bottom of the list couldn't even beat the NYPD in a war. Defense budget, $5.6 billion. Military personnel, 51,000. Air power, approximately 12 aircraft. Armor power, approximately 9,000 vehicles. Naval power, approximately 36 watercraft. Take a look at how all of these countries stack up against New York's finest. In the top 15, Madagascar. Defense budget, $56 million. Military personnel, 21,600. Air power, 20 aircraft. Armor power, 132 units. Naval power, 8 watercraft. This country has had only 3 presidents since its independence in 1960. In the top 14, Gabon. Defense budget, $81.52 million. Military personnel, 4,850. Air power, 33 aircraft. Armor power, 280. Naval power, 10 watercraft. The United States helped stop a genocide in this country in the 1990s. In the top 13, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Defense budget, $250 million. Military personnel, 12,750. Air power, 31 aircraft. Armor power, 414 units. Naval power, 0 watercraft. There was once a great ruler from this country that everyone knows. In the top 12, Macedonia. Defense budget, $108 million. Military personnel, 24,055. Air power, 32 aircraft. Armor power, 529 units. Naval power, 0 watercraft. For a country with some of the world's best rum, you'd think they'd fight more. In the top 11, Dominican Republic. Defense budget, $110.85 million. Military personnel, 65,925. Air power, 58 aircraft. Armor power, 46 units. Naval power, 33 watercraft. This country went from being a protectorate to occupied, to free, to colonized, to independent in 1 decade. In the top 10, Laos. Defense budget, $18.5 million. Military personnel, 130,000. Air power, 64 aircraft. Armor power, 389 units. Naval power, 97 watercraft. The next country is known as the Land of Volcanoes. In the top 9, El Salvador. Defense budget, $165 million. Military personnel, 47,000. Air power, 52 aircraft. Armor power, 193 units. Naval power, 7 watercraft. They're more well known for their waterway than their military. In the top 8, Panama. Defense budget, $145 million. Military personnel, 34,000. Air power, 25 aircraft. Armor power, 65 units. Naval power, 20 watercraft. This is one of the least densely populated countries in the world. In the top 7, Namibia. Defense budget, $120 million. Military personnel, 15,500. Air power, 31 aircraft. Armor power, 137 units. Naval power, 8 watercraft. This place is pretty well known for its pirates. In the top 6, Somalia. Defense budget, $59 million. Military personnel, 15,900. Air power, 25. Armor power, 800 units. Naval power, 14 watercraft. This country is rich in diamonds, gold, and oil, but has one of the poorest populations on Earth. In the top 5, the Central African Republic. Defense budget, $18.5 million. Military personnel, 5,825. Air power, 6 aircraft. Armor power, 79 units. Naval power, 0 watercraft. This country is stuck between the ocean and a desert. In the top 4, Mauritania. Defense budget, $39 million. Military personnel, 20,870. Air power, 45 aircraft. Armor power, 300 units. Naval power, 5 watercraft. This country is well known for their diamonds, and it's not in a good way. In the top 3, Sierra Leone. Defense budget, $13 million. Military personnel, 10,750. Air power, 7 aircraft. Armor power, 12 units. Naval power, 10 watercraft. The official language of this South American country is Dutch. In the top 2, Suriname. Defense budget, $67.5 million. Military personnel, 2,270. Air power, 3 aircraft. Armor power, 40 units. Naval power, 3 watercraft. This is the weakest military on the planet. You want to know what it is? It is Bhutan. Defense budget, $10 million. Military personnel, 7,500. Air power, 7 aircraft. Armor power, 10 units. Naval power, 0 watercraft. Hello everyone. Every Air Force and Navy feels the need for speed. It's just a fact. When trying to scramble your defending aircraft, time is of the essence, and speed is a critical element of that. It was a long and winding human road engineering took to get to a point where fighter aircraft have the radar cross-section of Bumblebee. Here are the 5 fastest military aircraft in service today. 1. Boeing X-37. The Boeing X-37 is an unmanned space drone operated by the U.S. Air Force and boosted into space by NASA. Its mission is to test reusable space technologies, then come back to Earth. On the way down, the X-37 re-enters Earth's atmosphere at an average speed of 16 times the speed of sound, but has come back as fast as Mach 25. 2. MiG-25 Foxbat. The fastest fighter still in service today is the Soviet-built MiG-25. Mikoyan designed this fighter to be a pure interceptor aircraft. As a result, the Foxbat can sustain a cruising speed of Mach 2.8 and kick it into overdrive with a top speed of 3.2. Not a bad technology for an aircraft that first took off in 1964. 3. F-15E Strike Eagle. The F-15 has been flying for more than 30 years and is set to keep going. The reason is just good design, another aircraft initially designed to catch incoming enemies and destroy them. The F-15 can fly at a top speed of 3,017 miles per hour, then stop, hit ground targets, and fade away. 4. MiG-31 Foxhound. When the Russians needed something that could try to chase down the vaunted SR-71 Blackbird, they called up the MiG-21 and its Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. The only problem is that it doesn't handle as well as its predecessor, the MiG-25. With a top speed of 2,993 miles per hour, it also isn't as fast. 5. Sukhoi Su-27. The Su-27 is a heavy fighter, designed to be the Soviet Union's answer to the F-15 program. First flown in 1977, it's still used by a handful of different countries, and is relied on for its 2,496 miles per hour top speed. The United States even has 4 Su-27 aircraft it uses to train pilots. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hello everyone. At his extravagant estate in Porto Triunfo, Escobar also built a private zoo filled with hippos, giraffes, elephants, and other animals. Hippos still roam the grounds today. Escobar was responsible for killing about 4,000 people, including an estimated 200 judges and 1,000 police, journalists, and government officials. In the 1980s, Escobar's Medellin cartel was responsible for 80% of the cocaine that was sent to the United States. Before getting into the drug trade, Escobar sold stolen tombstones to smugglers and was also in the business of stealing cars. Pablo Escobar was born in Rio Negro, Colombia in 1949. His father was a farmer and his mother was a school teacher. In 1976, a 27-year-old Pablo Escobar married Maria Victoria Haneo Vallejo, who was then just 15. While the Escobar family was in hiding, Pablo's mother, Manuela, got sick. To keep her warm, Escobar burned about $2 million. Pablo Escobar bought a Learjet specifically for flying his cash. Escobar is said to have smuggled cocaine into plane tires. Depending on how much product pilots flew, they could earn as much as $500,000 per day. In an attempt to change the laws of extradition, Escobar offered to pay Colombia's debt, an estimated $10 billion. Escobar spent around $2,500 a month on rubber bands used to hold his money. Escobar's earnings peaked at an estimated $30 billion. Escobar made the Forbes billionaires list of the world's richest people 7 years in a row, beginning in 1987 and peaked at number 7 in 1989. In the late 1980s, Colombian authorities seized some of Escobar's enormous fleet, including 142 planes, 20 helicopters, 32 yachts, and 141 homes and offices. Escobar's business was so big and so scrutinized that in addition to planes, helicopters, cars, trucks, and boats, he even bought 2 submarines for transporting his cocaine into the United States. At the height of the drug trade, Escobar smuggled up to 15 tons of cocaine each day. Pablo Escobar's support of the poor earned him the nickname Robin Hood. Other popular nicknames for Escobar were Don Pablo and El Patron. Among the possessions that authorities found in Escobar's home was a Spanish translation of the self-help classic, The Power of Positive Thinking. About 10% of Escobar's earnings were lost to spoilage. Rats likely consumed the bulk of those bills. Escobar's luxury prison was referred to as La Catedral, aka the Cathedral. La Catedral housed a casino, a nightclub, and even a spa. Pablo Escobar's greatest fear was extradition. No matter what happened, he didn't want to spend his final years in an American jail cell. Escobar used his extraordinary wealth and popularity to get himself elected to Colombia's Congress. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and share.